Hey everyone, welcome back to our daily dose of powerful Stoic habits, where we transform everyday struggles into triumphs with a touch of ancient wisdom. Have you ever felt like you're just a convenience in someone's life, appreciated only when it suits them? Well, that stops today. Do you ever wish you could command respect effortlessly, but instead find yourself feeling sidelined, always available, and treated like just another option in someone's contact list? What if I told you that this isn't just a dream, and it's within your reach? Today, we're diving into a compelling strategy, the art of strategic withdrawal. It's about stepping back and letting others realize just what they're missing. This isn't merely about setting boundaries, it's about transforming how you see yourself and how others treat you. This strategy is rooted in Stoicism, a philosophy that redefines how others perceive and treat you. As Marcus Aurelius said, "Respect yourself and others will respect you." This timeless advice underpins our discussion today. Don't allow yourself to be used. When you carry yourself with dignity and self-respect, you set the baseline for how others should treat you. This isn't about demanding respect with words, but showing it through action. By embracing this Stoic principle, you teach those around you that your presence is a privilege, not just a convenience. The respect you show yourself sets the standard for how others will interact with you, ensuring you are appreciated, not just used. Have you ever found yourself investing too much in relationships, always available, and yet feeling like you're the one doing all the work? Today, we'll explore self-preservation, stepping back so others recognize your true value. This isn't about playing hard to get, it's about genuinely respecting yourself enough not to be taken for granted. Now, let's take a moment for our daily affirmation. If you're up for it, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and repeat after me. I know my value. Feel that sense of self-worth growing. That's the power of standing your ground. Now, open your eyes and write it down, whether on paper or in the comments section. I know my value. Writing it out seals your commitment and shouts your worth loud and clear. If you're finding value in this journey, why not give this video a like? Each like helps share this important message with more people who need it. We're on a meaningful journey together, and your support makes all the difference. Now, let's talk about some practical habits to help you command respect in your relationships. 1. Practice saying no. Have you ever automatically said yes to a request, only to regret it moments later? Saying no can feel like walking through a minefield of disappointment, whether you're worried about upsetting someone or being perceived as unkind. But every time you say yes when you mean no, you might be compromising your own needs and values. As Epictetus wisely said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. When you say yes to everything, you're reacting to others' demands, not to your own agenda. Saying no is not just a rejection, it's a statement of priority. It tells the world that your time and energy are valuable and worth respecting. Consider this scenario. You've planned a quiet evening at home after weeks of chaos, but a friend calls asking for a favor. Saying no is about respecting your need for rest and rejuvenation, not just preserving your plan. As Seneca put it, if you really want to escape the things that harass you, what you're needing is not to be in a different place, but to be a different person. Saying no is about evolving into a person who values their time and peace above all. Here's how to say no with grace. Be direct, but polite. A simple "I appreciate you thinking of me, but I can't commit to that right now" works wonders. Offer alternatives if you want to help another time or in a different way. Stand firm. People may push back, especially if they're used to hearing yes from you, but remember your time and priorities matter. Each no is a step toward a balanced life where your needs aren't sidelined. By practicing this habit, you reclaim control over your life's direction, becoming the protagonist in your story. 2. Respect your values. Have you ever found it hard to stand firm on what you believe, only to end up compromising to keep the peace? Every time you compromise on your core values, you chip away at your self-respect. Marcus Aurelius said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. What you think and believe is what you ultimately become." Respecting your values ensures that your actions align with your true self, coloring your life with integrity. Imagine a situation where lying might be easier or expected, but you choose to tell the truth. By sticking to your guns, you're not just being honest, you're teaching others that your integrity is non-negotiable. Epictetus also reminds us, know first who you are and then adorn yourself accordingly. When you truly know and respect your values, you make decisions that reflect your identity, not just external pressures. When you compromise your values, you show others that they can take advantage of you. But when you steadfastly respect your values, you project strength and self-respect, setting a standard for how you expect to be treated. 3. Establish clear boundaries. Do you ever feel like your kindness is being taken advantage of? Setting boundaries is like building a fortress around your well-being, protecting your energy and time. Without boundaries, you're like an open field where anyone can trample over you. As Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Setting boundaries is about mastering your own life. It's not about shutting people out, but teaching them how to treat you with respect. For example, imagine a friend who constantly demands your time without considering your schedule. By setting a boundary, "I'm happy to help, but I need advance notice," you're not just preserving your time, you're teaching them to respect your limits. Boundaries create space where respect is mutual. They help ensure your needs are just as important as anyone else's. In conclusion, my Stoic friends, your worth is non-negotiable. By practicing these habits, saying no, respecting your values, and setting boundaries, you take control of how others treat you. You set the standard for the respect you deserve. So keep moving forward, stay strong, and always remember you are in charge of your life and your value is unquestionable. In the noble pursuit of emotional balance and self-mastery, mindfulness emerges as a vital guide. It grants us the power to stay connected to our innermost selves, allowing us to detect when others seek to manipulate or take advantage of us. By cultivating the art of being fully present in each moment, you arm yourself with the ability to assess situations and make decisions that are aligned with your best interests. Envision a life where challenges are met not with haste or panic, but with calm and unshakable confidence, where you are not easily swayed by the emotional whims of others. This is not a mere fantasy, but a tangible reality that can be embraced through the practice of emotional balance. Emotional balance, dear friends, is the bedrock upon which personal power and integrity stand. Grounding oneself in the present moment, acknowledging emotions without letting them seize control, and responding with deliberate thoughtfulness not only protects you from the intentions of those who might wish to use you, but also ensures that your relationships are built upon mutual respect and understanding. As you tread the path of emotional balance, you will notice a transformation. Resilience will grow within you, and you will become more centered, more in command of your life and the interactions you engage in. Remember, emotional equilibrium allows you to move with grace and strength through relationships, protecting you from manipulation and guarding your personal sovereignty. In this journey of self-respect, one essential realization is that respect must be demanded, not merely expected. The sixth principle we discuss is this: demand respect. Do not just anticipate its arrival. Have you ever reflected on why, despite following the prescribed paths of propriety, you may still feel unnoticed, your efforts unacknowledged, or your worth taken for granted? This often stems from an erroneous belief that respect should come unbidden, as though it were an inevitable consequence of doing what is right. Yet, respect is not a gift bestowed upon us. It is something we cultivate, and when necessary, we must actively claim it. The ancient Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius reminds us the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. Should you think little of yourself, should you deem yourself unworthy, those around you will inevitably perceive you in the same diminished light. Respect begins with how you view yourself and extends to how you expect others to regard you. Often we passively hope for respect, silently wishing that others would naturally recognize our worth. However, it is not enough to merely wait for others to acknowledge what is valuable in us. Instead, we must take it upon ourselves to show them the respect we deserve through our actions and how we carry ourselves. Imagine this: you are in a meeting, contributing valuable insights, yet your words seem to vanish into thin air, unheard and unrecognized. This is where demanding respect becomes imperative, not through confrontation or hostility, but through a confident assertion of your presence. To demand respect is to ensure that your voice is heard and valued. There is a critical difference between expecting respect and demanding it. The former is passive, waiting for recognition, while the latter is an active demonstration of one's worth. But how does one demand respect without seeming overbearing or arrogant? The answer lies in action and consistency. Respect is not gained by loud declarations or forceful demands. It is cultivated through a steady alignment of one's actions with one's values. As Marcus Aurelius said, Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Likewise, do not waste time expecting others to treat you with respect. Show them, through your demeanor and your unwavering sense of self, that you are to be treated with the dignity you deserve. Have you ever observed that some individuals seem to command respect effortlessly, while others struggle to gain even a modicum of recognition? It may seem like these people possess some ineffable quality, but in truth, their aura of importance stems from the standards they set for themselves and others. Demanding respect means ensuring that you never settle for less than you deserve. It involves setting high standards for yourself and refusing to accept anything that falls short. Consider a real-world example. You are in a relationship where your efforts often go unnoticed, and you feel as though you are continually giving without receiving the acknowledgement or appreciation you deserve. In such a situation, it is time to demand respect not through ultimatums, but through a shift in how you engage with the relationship. Start by openly communicating your needs and boundaries. Let your partner understand what respect means to you, and if those boundaries are crossed or your efforts go unappreciated, be prepared to take a stand, whether that involves a difficult conversation or even stepping back from the relationship. Demanding respect is not about forcing others to treat you well. It is about ensuring that you are treated with the inherent dignity you deserve. Have you ever felt that you are the one always making the effort to maintain a relationship, only to be met with indifference? Demanding respect can alter this dynamic, paving the way for more balanced and fulfilling relationships. Remember, respect is a mutual exchange. When you demand respect, you create an environment where it can flourish, laying the foundation for deeper, more meaningful connections. As we move forward in this exploration of self-respect, the seventh principle beckons: reaffirm your self-worth. Have you ever pondered why some individuals exude confidence with such ease, effortlessly commanding respect, while others seem to struggle for recognition? The secret often lies in their unwavering ability to reaffirm their own self-worth. Self-affirmation is not about arrogance, rather, it is about acknowledging the unique qualities and strengths you bring to every situation. As Marcus Aurelius wisely observed, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. If you fill your mind with thoughts of inadequacy, others will perceive you accordingly. Each day, take a moment to reflect on your strengths, your achievements, and your intrinsic value. This practice of self-affirmation is not merely a form of self-encouragement, it is a shield, protecting you from those who may seek to diminish or exploit you. When you consistently remind yourself of your worth, you set higher standards for how you are treated, and you become more willing to walk away from situations that do not honor your value. The eighth principle is equally empowering: invest in personal growth. Have you ever felt stuck, as though you were giving everything to others while neglecting your own development? Investing in personal growth is not only a path to greater fulfillment, but also a means of protecting yourself from exploitation. By committing to your own development, you signal to the world that you value yourself, and in turn, others will value you more. Personal growth shifts the power dynamics in relationships. As you invest in yourself, you become less dependent on others for validation and more confident in your own worth. You transform from someone who can be taken for granted into someone who commands respect and admiration. Growth makes you stronger, more resilient, and less likely to be used by others. Solitude, often feared, is our ninth principle to embrace. It is one of the most empowering experiences one can have. Cherishing solitude reconnects you with your inner strength and ensures that you are not overly reliant on others for your happiness. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul. Solitude allows you to become a fortress of self-reliance, making it difficult for anyone to take advantage of your need for companionship. Finally, we arrive at our 10th and last principle: selective availability. Have you ever noticed that the more available you make yourself, the less appreciated you often become? By practicing selective availability, you ensure that your time and energy are valued, not taken for granted. When you are judicious about when and to whom you give your time, others begin to respect your boundaries and see your presence as a privilege, not an expectation. As we close this exploration, remember that each of these principles is a step toward reclaiming your self-respect and ensuring that you are valued in all your relationships. Stand firm in your worth, assert your boundaries with confidence, and never forget that you deserve to be treated with the respect and dignity you extend to others. Your time, energy, and presence are precious. Do not allow them to be used by those who fail to appreciate them. In the refined art of life, one must strive not merely to preserve their own time, but to teach others the value of such preservation. By establishing clear and respectful boundaries, we not only shield ourselves but also educate those around us to honor the sacredness of our time. It is often uncomfortable at first, especially for those who have long prioritized the needs of others above their own. Yet, this discomfort pales in comparison to the deeper truth: if we do not respect our own boundaries, we cannot expect others to do so either. The essence of setting boundaries is not in cultivating difficulty or discontent, but in fostering clarity and mutual respect. A simple, firm, and respectful boundary serves as a preventative measure, ensuring misunderstandings are minimized and we avoid the unspoken burden of feeling used or taken for granted. Consider this scenario: you find yourself in a relationship where your partner expects you to drop everything at their whim. Without clear boundaries, this expectation will inevitably lead to frustration, burnout, and perhaps even resentment. However, by articulating a boundary such as "I need time to focus on my work and personal growth, and thus I won't always be available at certain times," you not only preserve your own well-being, but also establish a healthier, more balanced foundation for the relationship. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius wisely remarked, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." This insight underscores a profound truth: our inner world is shaped by the thoughts we entertain and the demands we allow to infiltrate it. Without boundaries, our thoughts, energy, and very soul become dyed by the desires and expectations of others, leaving little room for our own needs. Setting boundaries is an act of self-care, ensuring that our time, energy, and thoughts remain our own, untouched by external pressures that seek to dilute or overwhelm them. To maintain the integrity of your boundaries, consistency is paramount. Inconsistency invites confusion, and when boundaries are frequently crossed without consequence, they lose their potency. If you allow others to violate your boundaries repeatedly, it sends the message that your boundaries are negotiable, and they may not take them seriously. Therefore, it is essential to uphold your boundaries with unwavering commitment. By doing so, you reinforce your limits, and those around you will begin to respect and honor them. Furthermore, it is crucial to remember that setting boundaries is not an act of selfishness, but one of self-respect. Many individuals fear that by setting boundaries, they may appear unkind or indifferent to the needs of others. Yet, in truth, boundaries enable us to show up fully and authentically in our relationships without feeling drained or exploited. They provide a framework within which both parties can flourish, knowing that their needs are acknowledged and respected. Picture a life where your boundaries are not only respected but embraced, where your needs are met without hesitation or guilt. This is not a far-fetched ideal, but a reality entirely within your grasp. By establishing and maintaining clear boundaries, you foster a healthy equilibrium in your relationships, one in which both parties feel valued, respected, and understood. This balance not only protects you from being used, but also strengthens your connections with others, deepening the mutual respect and understanding that are the hallmarks of meaningful relationships. In conclusion, my esteemed friends, let us not view boundaries as walls that separate us, but as bridges that connect us to greater understanding and mutual respect. When you set clear boundaries, you are teaching others how to treat you and, more importantly, setting the standard for how you wish to live your life. Boundaries are the foundation upon which your freedom is built, the freedom to live authentically, without fear of being used or taken for granted. Now, let us turn our attention to another critical habit: the importance of open and honest communication. Have you ever found yourself biting your tongue, afraid that expressing your true thoughts or feelings might lead to conflict or misunderstanding? Such hesitation often stems from a fear of rejection or a desire to keep the peace. Yet, every time you suppress your truth, you allow others to define the terms of the relationship. Open and honest communication is not just about voicing your needs, it is about safeguarding your dignity and ensuring that your relationships reflect your authentic self. As Marcus Aurelius once said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." If we fail to express our thoughts openly, how can we expect our relationships to reflect who we truly are? By communicating openly, you prevent others from using your silence as a tool against you. Consider how a simple conversation could change the dynamics of a relationship in which you feel overwhelmed or taken for granted. By calmly expressing your feelings, "I feel like I'm taking on more than I can handle right now. Can we find a better balance?" You not only assert your needs, but also invite the other person to participate in a more equitable relationship. When communicating, it is crucial to do so with respect and clarity. Rather than accusing or blaming, focus on how the situation affects you. For example, instead of saying "you never listen to me, try, I feel unheard when our conversations are one-sided." This approach opens the door to constructive dialogue rather than defensiveness. Epictetus, another great Stoic thinker, reminds us we have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. In practicing open communication, it is just as important to listen as it is to speak. By listening deeply, you can better understand the needs of others while ensuring your own are also addressed. Unspoken assumptions are often the root of misunderstandings and feelings of being used. We sometimes expect others to know our boundaries or needs without explicitly stating them, which can lead to frustration when those expectations are not met. Open communication prevents such misunderstandings, creating an environment of transparency where both parties are aware of each other's needs and expectations. Finally, let us reflect on the fifth and final habit: seeking emotional balance. Emotional balance is not just about staying calm in the face of adversity, it is about maintaining an inner equilibrium that protects you from being easily swayed or manipulated by the emotions of others. When you are emotionally balanced, you are better equipped to stand firm in your decisions, making it less likely that others will take advantage of you. Marcus Aurelius once remarked, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. This wisdom highlights the importance of focusing on your internal state rather than allowing external circumstances to dictate your emotions. When we allow others to manipulate our emotions, we give away our power. Emotional balance is the key to reclaiming that power and ensuring that you remain in control of your reactions, rather than being controlled by them. In conclusion, let us all strive to uphold these 5 habits: setting boundaries, practicing self-respect, communicating openly, maintaining emotional balance, and seeking mutual respect in our relationships. These habits are the cornerstones of a life where we are not only respected but valued for who we truly are.